Sunrise here on building site, and it's going to be a really cool day. Two white vans are here of Deek and Sam. Andy's here inside there, getting ready. The big steel is here, and the crane is coming pretty soon to lift some of this really big steel up into place on site.
We're putting up 5 beams today. Starting with this big brute down here. The crane's coming around about 12, and it's going to be behind the house here, lifting over. And today we're just making sure all holes are going to line up this morning, and it should just bolt together lovely like a Meccano set.
Crane Day is the culmination of days of frantic preparation by Sam and Deek.
We've been busy over the last couple of days just trying to get ready for the rig. A lot of steel beams and everything all organised. Just double checking everything, make sure it's going to go to plan. So we've got the crane this here, it's costing a lot of money to get around. You want things to go right.
As Sam and Deek prepare these two big wooden posts to take the giant glue lamb beam that's going to come down on top of them, and Andy puts the final touches on these steel beams, it looks like, for now at least, the weather's on their side.
Right now is ideal. Very much so. Getting wet isn't fun. Just fingers crossed.
So it's a massive morning of preparation here as Andy, Sam and Deek do everything they have to do to prepare before that crane comes. Getting all that steel ready, getting all some wooden posts ready, just making sure they're ready for that crane to lower those massive beams in place.
That afternoon, when I returned to site, sure enough, the crane is there and it's in action, getting ready to swing these big beams into place. When the crane first lowers the beam down onto the support poles, one of the poles is slightly too high. Action has to be taken.
A slight misalignment here. It's only a slight one, it's only a couple of mil, but it makes a bit of difference.
And what's the solution?
A big hammer.
But we're working with the superstructure coming up from the floor, so we've got concrete block, different thicknesses of timbers, so you can lose 2-3 mils quite easily, so we're pretty happy with that. That's pretty damn close to be 6.8 as opposed to 6.5 degree. So something we can work with, doesn't have to go back down.
So, with the weather closing in and rain looking like being on the way, the boys pick up the pace.
But the rain has come. It is pretty much set in now from the west, and so the guys can't afford to send the crane away. It's costing hundreds of dollars an hour to be here, so they've got to just carry on, get these beams up in the rain. The only guy staying dry today apart from me is Brett the crane driver.
Feeling a little bit guilty about it being up in the drive, me being down there. I think it's a little bit of sarcasm involved there.
Finally, it just gets stupid. What's that about, James?
It's getting a bit warm out there.
It's going to get you a roof, eh?
Half an hour later, with darkness approaching, it finally stops raining.
We're about to lift this big cranked glulam beam up, which is your pergola beam. Final beam on the roof.
Big question is, when the beam comes down on top of its supports, will it fit perfectly? Unfortunately, the big answer is no. After a bit of discussion, the guys decide that what's required is a bit of subtle adjustment to the beam. And it works. Now we're good.
That looks beautiful. Look at it.
I hope you've enjoyed this video blog. It's been a great day here at Three Kings. It's all over now, bar the shouting, and I think the shouting is going to be my job because the guys have done a fantastic job in the rain here. They've had the crane working away, they've had the huge beams, and of course that massive glulam bit of wood that went up at the end, and they've done a great job. They're soaking wet. I think it's time for a beer. See you, Andy.